All right, so we have gone through an example together before. In this example, let's look at a similar problem and let's see if we can solve the problem by ourselves, okay? So in this example, we have a treasurer of IBM and we have some cash reserves, right? So we have some money to invest and we're thinking about where to invest for 6 months, okay? So the principal amount that I have is 100 million USD and I want to invest for 6 months, okay? I'm looking at two different investment options. So if I invest in my home country, which is the US, I can get 8% per year. So if my interest rate is 8% per year, that means for 6 months, I will get 4%, okay? You need to be careful here with the time horizon. Normally the interest rate is quoted on a per annum basis, but sometimes our investment horizon is a bit different, okay? In this case, the investment horizon is 6 months, so I will take half of the interest rate, okay? My second option is to invest in Germany, and if that's the case, I will be looking at 7%, okay? So for a 6-month investment, therefore, it should be 3.5, okay? We are also given information about the spot and the forward exchange rate. So at the current time, the spot rate is 1.01 euro per USD, okay? So be careful with the exchange rate here. This is the value of the USD in terms of the euro, okay? Now, the 6-month forward rate is 0.99 euro per USD. So here, my forward rate is going to be 0.99 euro per USD, okay? Now, we also don't want to bear any exchange rate risk. That means we have to involve the forward contract to eliminate any future exchange rate movements, okay? So in this question, the question here is which country do I invest, okay? So where should I invest to maximize my returns? This is similar to the first problem that we look at the start when we derive the interest rate parity condition, okay? Remember when we look at two investment options in the domestic country and in the foreign country, right? So let's use that example and see whether we can solve this problem by following the same procedure, okay? So in this case, let's spend about 1 or 2 minutes to think about this problem. And when we come back, we will talk about the answer, okay? So here, as we mentioned before, we're looking at two options. The first one is the US, and the second one is the Germany market, okay? We want to invest, so you want to look at the investment returns for the 6 months horizon, okay? So here I want to look at the investment return. For both options for a 6 months horizon, okay? So compute the investment returns for both options for me. Also think about how to eliminate exchange rate risk, okay, when you invest overseas, okay? So in your answer, you should have two different options. You should have a domestic investment option, and then you should have a Germany, okay, or a foreign country investment option, okay? So 2 minutes. When we come back, we will talk about the answer, okay? Okay, guys. Now, did you see the whiteboard that I just shared with you with a few notes? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. So with the whiteboard, can you see the notes I wrote here for the two investment returns?
Yeah, we can see it all.
Okay, thank you. So here I'm looking at two options, right? I could be investing in my domestic country, which is the US in this case. In the second option, I'll be investing in Germany, okay? So my task here is I want to see which one would yield me a higher investment return, okay? So on the left-hand side, I'm looking at the US investment. Now, if I invest $100 million at the start, and if I invest it for 6 months and the interest rate for 6 months is 4%, how much do I get at the end? After 6 months, how much do I expect to get? Yep, I've got an answer in the chat box. 104 million, yes, spot on, okay. So here I'm just doing a future value calculation, right? I'm just going to take the principal, which is 100 million USD, and I'm going to times it with 1 plus R or I, 1 plus I, let's just say I. In this case, it will be 100 mil times 1.04, and that will be 104 million, okay, USD. Okay, I'm just going to highlight the currency here so we know we're talking about the domestic currency. So in the first option, we do not need to worry about exchange rate exposure because we're dealing in the home currency. Okay. With the second option, I've got an option to also invest overseas and then convert my investment return back into the domestic currency. Okay. So in this case, I'm thinking about investing in Germany. Now, if I want to invest overseas, the first step is I need to convert my USD into the euro, okay, at the current spot rate. So currently, let me just look back at the spot rate. So currently the spot rate is, how much is it? So 1.01 euro per US dollars, okay? So if I have 100 million USD, how much can I get in terms of the euro? If I convert it into the euro, what would be the equivalent euro amount? Okay, so if I want to find the equivalent euro amount, it will be 101 million euro. Okay. So after I have converted my USD into the euro, I'll go to take that money to invest in the government bond. Okay, I'm going to buy a government bond now, and I'm going to hold it for 6 months. Okay, at the current interest rate of 3.5% for 6 months, I expect to get, if I invest 101 million euro at 3.5%, how much do I expect to get after 6 months? Guys, do some calculation for me here. Yep, I've got an answer here. 104.535. Okay, yep, that's correct. Thanks, Kang. Excellent. So here I'm just calculating the future value again. So I'm going to take 110. I'm going to times it with 1.035, okay, which is 1 plus the interest rate in the UK, sorry, in Germany. So if I did that, I will find that this will be 104 million and 535,000 euro, okay. So I know that I'm going to earn a euro amount after 6 months, but because I'm a US investor, I'm going to have to convert this back into the USD eventually. Now, we also don't want to bear any foreign exchange rate risk, yeah? So at the current time, instead of having to wait until 6 months and transact the USD and exchange the euro back into the USD at the future spot rate, what I can do is that at the current time, I'm just going to enter into a forward contract, okay, for the amount of 104.535 million euro, okay. So because I expect to get this money in 6 months, I'm going to be selling the euro forward for a 6-month contract, okay. So in step 3, this is when I enter into a forward contract to sell the euro for 6 months. And the amount that I'm going to sell is this much, okay, is what I calculated from step 2. So the forward rate currently is, yep, did someone raise their hand? Do you want to say something? Hi, did you raise your hand? Did you want to talk? Or if you want to talk, just unmute your microphone and talk to me, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to assume that it was by accident and I'm going to move on. Okay, I am going to move on. Okay, so from the question, we know that the forward rate is 0.99, right? Euro per USD, okay? So if I want to convert this much euro, so 104.535 million euro into the USD at the current forward rate, how much do I get? What's the USD equivalent? Yep, I've got some answer here. 105.59 million, okay, USD. Let me check my answer. Yes, exactly, right, spot on. Thanks, Kang. This is the right answer. So here, from this much euro, I'm going to convert back into the USD using the forward contract. So from 104,535,000 euro, I'm going to divide that by the forward rate, okay? And I'm going to get 105,590,909 USD, okay? Oopsie. So by now, this exchange rate calculation should be very familiar to you guys, okay? So we're just applying, we're just converting one currency to the other one, okay? So here, because with the forward rate, I've got the euro divided by the USD rate. So to convert from the euro to the USD, I'm going to take the euro amount. I'm going to divide by that exchange rate. Okay. So thanks, Kang. This is the right answer. Okay. So what do we do next, guys? We have computed the investment returns for both options. Now, what are we going to advise the treasurer? Am I going to invest domestically, or am I going to Germany to invest? Yep, I've got an answer here. Germany, yes, spot on. Thank you so much. I'm going to invest here because I get a higher rate. Okay, so here I've got a higher investment return relative to here. So I'm going to go to Germany to invest. Okay.